Let's go to one Western Australian who is locked down in her house. Sky News contributor, columnist with The Australian, Gemma Tognini. Good to talk to you again, Gemma. You must be so frustrated. You're running your business from your home, presumably?
I am well at home with the dog. I can't guarantee that he won't bark. He's been spoken to, but just a heads up to our viewers. Look, it's really perplexing to listen to Dr. Miller, and I understand where he's coming from. To say there's no insult to injury, I would invite all of the state government who've made this snap decision. I would even invite Dr. Miller to tell that to the children who are in fact safer at school than they are at home, to the women who are safer at work than they are at home. We know that domestic violence flares during lockdown. We also know that the best advice, even from the World Health Organization, even if, for those who are still paying attention to that body, that lockdowns are not the answer. This is a knee-jerk reaction to a lack of preparedness. And you can even see, Chris, the confusion that's been coming out today around things like, how are parents going to care for their children? Can one parent leave the house with more than one child? What if you're a single parent? It is an absolute farce. And questions around women who are giving birth this week. Will their husbands be allowed in the birthing suite with them? Will their partners be allowed in the birthing suite with them? And the CHO couldn't give a clear answer on that. It is quite frankly, if anyone wondered whether Western Australia had planned for anything other than shutting the gate at intervals, here's your answer.
Look, I just don't quite believe we're seeing this. You and I have been involved in this debate, speaking to experts about it all year. If there were 500 infections in Western Australia, I would struggle to accept this sort of a reaction. But one person, I have dear friends more than 600 kilometres from Perth who are planning to go interstate to see family, not able to do that now. Lost that opportunity for God knows how long. That's just one little example. You mentioned funerals, childbirth, the lost opportunities at school. One case. Is this about politics? Is this Mark McGowan and the election?
That's definitely a part of it. We're 40, give or take 45 days away from a state poll here. You've had a government that has prosecuted a narrative that is centred on one thing, which is a hard state border, and has told the electorate that they have kept us safe because of that state border. When, to give him his credit, Dr. Miller, the AMA, the Australian Nursing Federation over here, other specialists like Dr. Clay Gollidge, who's an esteemed epidemiologist, have been saying for 10 months that the weakest link in the chain is hotel quarantine. The strong push to repurpose a facility such as Yonge Hill, which is just out of Perth, to mirror what the Northern Territory has in place, which has worked seamlessly with very little hiccup at all. But it's an arrogant narrative, Chris. You can't question. You get shouted down from a great height. And speak to every small business owner who this week will not draw a wage, who will not be able to pay their staff, casual workers who will not earn a buck this week, who may not be able to pay their bills, feed themselves, feed their kids. To say that it's just a week is the epitome of arrogance and the epitome of self-absorption. This is about more. This is about more than just behind covering. This is about the impact on an entire cohort of the community. It's 80%, Chris, of it's 80% of the West Australian population. And places like Walpole, for example, which is a good 4.5, 5 hours away from Perth, in a car, their local pub and their local cafe are not allowed to trade this week. It's a nonsense. It's a bureaucratic response developed by people who've no experience in the real economy, and no skin in the game, and who are still going to get paid this week.
Spot on, Gemma. I feel for you. We'll talk to you later in the week.
Thanks, Chris.
Gemma Tognini, their columnist with The Australian, contributor here at Sky. She's the founder of GT Media, running her business from home. Everybody's stuck in that situation in WA for the next 5 days for one case. It's like 2020 never happened to these people.